Hello. Tasha checking in with another video, y'all. And this is going to be none other than a couple of updates with some hot topics that are popping off in these streets that we are talking about. Okay. So if it's your first time joining me, go ahead and like this video, comment in the comment section, and most importantly, subscribe to the Redefine Me channel. We had a great time over here. Okay. Let me get my lighting together, y'all. One second. Let me get my lighting together, y'all. One second. I hope you all are having a awesome, amazing Sunday. I am having a great Sunday. It's been just really a great weekend. Okay. So we're about to get into these topics. So we're going to talk about updates on the Diddy trial. Actually, day 12 and 13, I have those updates for y'all. We're going to get into that. We are going to also talk about the Smokey Robinson update on his trial. Y'all know he is going through a lawsuit. Yes, 85-year-old Smokey Robinson. And we are also going to get into the updates of the Carmelo Anthony trial that is going on. Okay, so let's dive into it. Get your popcorn, get your drinks. Let's get into this first thing I want to talk about, which is going to be let's say the Diddy trial for last. Let's say the Diddy trial for last because it's a lot. Actually, let's get into Diddy first. Because I got a lot of no's on the Diddy case. So let's get into Diddy first, okay? I'm going to take this off of my shirt because I don't know why every time I put my little mic on my shirt, it feels like, it's not really giving what it needs to give. All right, y'all. So this is day 12 of the Diddy trial. Okay. I'm just going to say day 12 and 13 because at this point, I've kind of lost track of the days, but I'm assuming that it's 12. Okay. So on this day, right? So Deontay Nash, okay, which is a celebrity stylist, he gets back on the stand. So he was on the stand the day before, and he was telling us about Diddy and Cassie's relationship, things of that nature. So he gets back on the stand on day number 12, 13, and he is the only one that tried to stop the abuse against Cassie. Okay, he would see it going forth and he would try to jump in and interject. Okay. Now, I also watched the interview of Roger Bonds, who was Diddy's bodyguard. He also claimed that he tried to stop the violence that he inflicted on Cassie as well. What's going on, everybody coming in the room? Thank you all for being here. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the Redefine Me channel. What's going on? I think this says I see God. So what's going on, everybody? The lights in my face if I missed it. And so Deontay isn't the only one. I watched the Roger Bonds interview that he did with Vlad TV. And so he was also saying that he tried to jump in and stop Diddy's violence against Cassie as well. Okay. So moving on from that, okay. He also lets us know that he did not want to testify like a lot of other people in this Diddy trial. They did not want to testify, but they were subpoenaed to testify. Okay. In 2018, at a Revolt conference, Deontay lets us know that he was to style Diddy and Cassie, and especially style Cassie for us in South Africa for the movie Honey 3. Okay. Deontay said he tried to hook Cassie up with Michael B. Jordan. So y'all already know that that was rumored, but that rumor was quickly dispelled. Okay. They were just really friends in that movie. He said because he tried to hook them up because Diddy was doing his thing in Miami with other women. So he thought, why not? Especially with the girl Gina that's been mentioned a lot in this case. Deontay said Cassie didn't care about Gina because they were broke up at the time. Cassie and Deontay used to text back and forth. They used to text about Michael B. Jordan. She said that he and Cassie, Deontay will go out together. And this is Deontay's second day on the stand. This is day number 12 and 13 of the Diddy case. Y'all know I've been reporting since day one on this case. And we're also going to get into other case updates, the Smokey Robinson case, as well as the Carmelo Anthony case. So I'm going to get through Diddy first because it was a lot of information on those days. Okay. And these days were on Thursday and Friday. Okay. So 2016, the hotel event, they bring that up. Okay. He says that she did text him on that day. She was she was trying to, get away from Diddy, and she did not let Deontay know what was going on at this time, and she said that she was embarrassed to let him know. The defense tried to say, well, a friend that she is to you, she wouldn't even tell you everything. And really, rightfully so, just because you have really good friends, you don't always tell them all of your secrets. She said she felt embarrassed, so that's why she did not tell Deontay what was the in-depth details of what was going on with her and Diddy. Okay. What else? The defense was trying to allude to the fact with Deontay that Cassie keeps secrets and she's not trustworthy. Okay. Um, the defense at this point was trying to assassinate Cassie's character and the type of person that she is. However, Deontay, he had front row seats for a relationship with her. So he pretty much knows who she is as a person. Deontay said he is still in touch with Cassie. He even helped style her for court. So he is still very much in touch with her. We also find out that Cassie has delivered her third child, which is a boy. Okay, so congratulations to Cassie on that. Y'all know her husband is Alex Fine, which is a trainer that was brought up in this case. They now have 3 children together, and they are married. Okay, moving on from that. In 2013, when she then told Deontay about her participation in said freak offs. Okay, she did not do that at first because she was embarrassed about that. Deontay said that he did stay in touch with Diddy. He brought up a text between them in 2018. Diddy asked him to call him. Diddy was asking Deontay if he could wake up Cassie, if he knew where she was at. Deontay reached out to him after Kim Porter's death. And at that time, when he asked him in 2018 to get Cassie and everything, he was just upset because she was then started to talk to Kid Cudi. Okay. Fast forward, also in 2018, y'all know that Kim Porter, she passed and she died. And so Deontay reached out to Diddy at that point to, I guess, show his condolences because Kim Porter has 3 of Diddy's children. Okay. Diddy was upset with Deontay, he tells us, for not telling Diddy that Cassie was in fact seeing the trainer, which is now her husband, Alex Fine. In May 2020, Deontay sent Diddy a message saying that, hey, I love you, bro. If you need anything, let me know. Okay, so this is all alluding to the fact that Deontay was very much still in touch with Diddy, that he doesn't hate Diddy, but the facts are the facts. He was abusive. He was a hothead. He was a drug addict. He was a lot of other things in this case. Okay, moving on to the next witness. Now, this next witness is something that's going to blow your socks off because I did not expect for her to go through this much with Diddy. However, she did, and her name is Mia. She is one of Diddy's assistants, and so she takes the stand. When she comes into the courtroom, y'all, her head is down. She doesn't make eye contact with the jury or eye contact with Diddy. She walks straight to the stand, and they proceed with the questioning. Okay. She is considered victim number 4. She is a former employee of Diddy. She was support. Now, this employee, and the reason why they're calling all these employees, right, is for them to stick to the forced labor under the racketeering charges. So y'all know that the racketeering, they're trying to get him on racketeering. So they have to prove the forced labor, they have to prove the kidnapping, they have to prove the arson, things like that. Okay. And so, and probably a plethora of other things. But so far, they have proved the forced labor, they have proved the kidnapping, and they have proved arson. Okay. And so Mia, she gets on the stand and she lets us know that she always was on call, that a job with Diddy was like a 24-hour a day, 9 days a week job. Okay. She was very nervous, very soft spoken. She said she worked as Diddy's personal assistant. She also was the director of development for Revolt Film, which is something different from the Revolt TV that we know. And when she was speaking, Diddy in the courtroom, he was like still engaged. He was writing notes, passing it back and forth to his lawyers and things like that. Okay. She says that, working for him was a toxic situation. It had its high highs and then it had its very low lows. She said that he would throw things at her, that he slammed her up against a door, that he inflicted SA on her more than once. Okay. So my thing is when people come on the stand, right, and they're talking about how horrible of of a boss, of a supervisor, everything that Diddy was, right? Why do you stay working for this man? And a lot of them have alluded to the fact that they stay working for him because they need the money. They don't want him to blackball him in Hollywood. And but like it or not, at the time when Diddy was popping and he was a thing, okay, he was a very powerful person in Hollywood. Y'all see what happened with Wendy Williams. Remember when he called into the radio show back in the day that Wendy Williams was on, and she said something he didn't like, right? He made a phone call to get her fired from said radio station. So he had a lot of pull back in the day. And so a lot of people were afraid of him and did not want to go up and challenge him because they were afraid they was going to get blackballed in Hollywood. Okay. So Mia is one of those people. She said that she interviewed. Now, get this, y'all. This gonna trip y'all out. She interviewed with Tony Fletcher, okay, who was the chief of staff at the time for Bad Boy Records. Okay, this is how she got the job. Then she says that she was also interviewed by Diddy. And why did Diddy interview her sitting in his underwear? Y'all heard me right. Diddy interviewed this lady that he do not know, never met. Okay, she's coming in for a personal assistant position. And this man goes on to interview her in his underwear. Like that right there tells you that he's like something ain't right. He's touched by an angel. Okay, something is going on there up in his head. So he was at his apartment when she came for the interview, which I thought was a really crazy setting anyway. She said she was excited and eager to work for Bad Boy, to work for Diddy, because she was in her 20s, her early 20s. She was probably just beginning her professional career, a very green, very high pie in the sky, and all those other things that you could think of, right? She said it was, hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. She said it was a lot of jokes 24/7 about her working a 24/7 hour job. Like it was a lot of jokes within Bad Boy about that. But she ended up finding out that that was true. Like you were always on call for Diddy whenever he needed you. Now, backtrack. She used to work for Mike Myers, okay, the actor, and she said with Mike Myers, her hours was from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Normal working hours, right? But not with Diddy, it was all the time. She said her salary with Diddy was 50K. Now I'm thinking to myself, child, 50K. Now, again, fast backtrack. She was working for him around 2007. So I'm guessing 50K at that time was like a big deal. But I'm thinking to myself, fast forward in the times we live in now, I'm like, 50K was not worth all the drama that he was putting you through. Okay. She said she thought it was going to be 40 hours a week, but it ended up being way more than that. And we have heard other staff members of his say how he owes them for overtime, like 80 hours worth, one staff member said. Okay. But she said she thought it was going to be 40 hours and it wasn't. Okay. She began at Diddy's place in New Jersey. This is her first day on the job. He wanted her in the studio with him until 1 a.m. So she had to stay in that studio till 1 a.m. She did not sleep. She says her first couple of days with Diddy, she did not sleep for 24 or more hours. Okay. Could you imagine being up for 24 hours? I mean, some people have these strenuous jobs where they have to, but I couldn't even imagine it. Right. She thought this was a part of like a trial period. Like it was like one of them 90-day trial periods where you go through where the boss has to see if he wants to keep you on or not. She said the longest she went without sleep was 5 days. The longest she went without sleep was 5 days. Now, I don't know nobody, no human being that could stay up for 5 days straight unless you are ingesting some type of drugs. Energy drinks won't even help, because I think there was that I read in the past that there was some type of what was it? Someone came out, a doctor or somebody said that if you stay up past a certain period of time, it's equivalent to being drunk, right? And so at 5 days, I would pass out. There is no way that I could stay up that long, but she said that's the longest that she stayed up. Now, she then goes on to tell us, because I just told y'all you have to be on something to stay up for 5 days. She then told us that she used Adderall to stay up. And then at a certain point, she had a physical breakdown where she was crying, she was stressed out and everything like that. And once she had her breakdown, then Diddy says, okay, well, you can go sleep now. It's almost like like he wanted to, break you down to the lowest you could possibly go, and then say, okay, now I release you, like he's some type of king or something. Okay. She says her responsibility, and this is Mia. Mia is on the stand. Mia was one of Diddy's personal assistants. If you all are just coming in and you don't know, you're like, who are we talking about? We're talking about testimony of Mia. Mia was a lot, and this was on day number 12 and 13. I'm going to group them together. It was on the Thursday she took the stand. Her testimony was a lot, and I did not imagine that this woman had went through everything that she went through as a personal assistant for Diddy. Okay, her responsibilities, they were 2 pages long, but I was only able to get a few of the things of her responsibilities. Okay. So she had to be over all of Diddy's social media. She was the liaison between him and, I can't even read my own handwriting, y'all. Hold on. Oh, Hollywood. She was the liaison between him and Hollywood. Okay. She always had to be near him. Diddy always wanted her near him, and she had to anticipate his needs. She even, y'all, get this. Now, this is crazy, crazy, crazy. She even had to crack his knuckles. Yes, y'all heard me right. She had to crack his knuckles. Who in their right mind hires an assistant and says, okay, I need you to crack my like, that is just lazy and just evil. Like, why would you do that to somebody? That money and power will make you feel like you could do anything. And those were just a few of the things that she had to do for Diddy. Okay. Now she gets into the sexual assault with Diddy that she suffered. Okay. And this is a part of the racketeering charges as well. This part was very triggering for her. When she was on the stand, she was getting emotional and everything like that, and she was struggling to get it out of what she had to say. Okay. She said she was at the Plaza Hotel. This is the first encounter. She had only been with Bad Boy for a total of 4 months at this point. He asked to speak with her without everybody else in the room. He told everybody else to clear the room. And he told her, it started off great. Like, he told her, Mia, you're doing a good job. Thank you for being here at Bad Boy, things like that. And then he says he gave her 2 shots to toast to, I guess, him congratulating her, right? And so I think it was around his birthday time too. So she took the shots because it was his birthday and everything like that, right? And he was her boss. She didn't want to tell him no. She said after she took the shots, she began to feel a little weird, right? And she said that he leaned in and he put his hands under her dress. Okay. She said at that point, she was like a deer in headlights. She was shocked at what he was doing because she looked at him and she was like, you're my boss type situation. She then says, the next thing she knows, she woke up and she was in a chair. The last place she remembered being was standing in the kitchen when she had took these shots. Okay. And that was the first time of sexual assault that he had did to her. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. I believe that he put something in those shots, absolutely, that made her faint, pass out, or what have you. Okay. The second incident with him, she was at his apartment. His one of his bodyguards, Uncle Paulie, who was mentioned a lot, was there. She was dropping off some bags at his house, and Diddy tried it again. He tried to get her, put his hands on her, things like that. But she ended up running out of the apartment, and he did not be successful with that one. Okay. The third attempt, or the third assault, she stayed at his house. Okay, now this part. A lot of his staff members would stay at his house, right? And so she said that a lot of his rooms did not have locks on them. Certain rooms did, and certain rooms didn't. She was in a room that did not have a lock on the door. Okay, she said she was asleep and she woke up to a figure on top of her. Who was on top of her? It was Diddy. Okay, she said he used one hand to put his man part inside of her and one hand to take his pants off. Okay. So when she was saying it, I was trying to visualize, like, okay, one hand to take the pants off. I guess he was holding her down or on top of her with the other hand. And then he used the other hand once the pants was off to do his dirt. Okay. The jury at this time, they were just very focused on Mia. They were zoned into what she was saying, the stories she was telling. They was very much engaged in taking notes. Okay. Moving on from that, another time, and this is, it's just a lot. When I tell y'all, this testimony was just a lot to engulf and take in, because you don't imagine an assistant having to go through this, even if you're a celebrity. Like, I just, This is just evil to me. Okay. And these are all allegedly, but this is her testimony. Okay. And she was his assistant. So another time she said she was at his home and she was in a closet and she was putting away clothes in the closet. And he comes in with his manhood out. Okay. His manhood was out. And she says that he put his manhood in her mouth. And she had to begin to form oral on him. And I'm just like, that is just crazy. Okay, that was one time. Another time she says she was in the bathroom and she was coming out the bathroom and he pushed her back into the bathroom. Okay, she said all of these times Cassie was never around, not there. Okay, um she said she always thought that the last time he assaulted her would have been the last time, like it wouldn't have happened again. um Let me see. At this time, the prosecution asked, "Was he on drugs?" She said that he did not appear to be on drugs when he was SAing her. Okay. She said that she could not tell him no because she thought if she told him no, she would lose her job, she would lose everything. So whenever he tried to like assault her, she would try to like wiggle her way out of the situation. Okay. She said he was mad because one time when he tried to assault her, she was on her menstrual cycle, and he got so mad he threw a spaghetti bowl at her. And when she tried to go tell HR what had happened about the said situation, HR suspended Mia without pay. Okay. So I don't even know why she would feel like she could go and tell HR, "Hello, how you doing? Welcome to the live." I think it's Lowens, welcome to the live. Thank you for coming. So I don't know why she felt like she could tell Bad Boys HR about Diddy. He is the boss. He controls everything. Did you think that telling the HR of his company was going to get you some type of justice? Absolutely not. So when she tell HR, she got suspended without pay. Okay. She says one time he threw a computer at her. Okay. And when she was recalling all of these events on the stand, Mia was getting emotional. Okay. And I could understand why, because bringing up all these old wounds probably would make a person feel a certain way. Okay. She said another time they were in Turks and Caicos and Diddy dumped ice on her and threw her in the pool. She says that he slammed her arm into a bathroom a door and she did it twice. And he did it twice. In April 2013, an email was sent to the chief of staff, right? Of Diddy's. And she tells him in the email that Diddy had left her on the side of the road. He had took her phone, and she was in Hollywood, and she didn't have a way, I guess, to get back home or whatever it was, right? From that, I don't know what happened. They didn't touch on that. She said she was terrified and felt humiliated by someone who was supposed to have been her boss. And I can only imagine, like, if you think about your job, like, you don't think that your boss is going to do some of the things, a lot of the things that he did to her, any of the things that he did to her. Okay. She then goes on to testify about Cassie. Mia said that her and Cassie were cool. One time they were wanted to go to Prince's party. Yes, Purple Rain Prince. Okay. They were trying to go to his party, but Diddy did not want them to go. And so they were planning to sneak out like kids. And so they did sneak out. They went to Prince's party. Diddy ended up showing up at the party. Mia saw him and she was like, "Oh crap, Diddy is here." And then he followed her and Cassie. He was about to hit Cassie, but at this point, the security at Prince's party stopped him from hitting Cassie. Okay. Now, at this time, after this situation happened, Mia once again got suspended without pay, okay, for going to Prince's party. She said that she would see Cassie a lot with a busted lip, with a black eye, etc. On Cassie, okay. Mia, Cassie, and Diddy. One time they went to a movie premiere of Brad Pitt's. Okay. She says that Diddy was digging his nails into Cassie's arm and talking really low to her. So I don't know what he could have been saying to her, but you could only imagine with everything that's been coming out, right? Diddy also, she says that Diddy told her to take care of Cassie, and that they couldn't leave the hotel after they did that movie premiere with Brad Pitt. So they had to stay up in the hotel room. Okay. Mia said Cassie and Diddy's relationship was very toxic. He had the final decision on everything with her, like what she gonna wear, how she gonna look, how her hair look, how her makeup look, what she dresses like, things of that nature. Okay, what films she would do, what music would be released. And this is what makes me think is why Cassie's career didn't couldn't really go anywhere for real, not to us, because he had control of everything. And if he is in control of everything and he's saying, well, I don't feel like releasing her music, I don't feel like putting her in a movie, things of that nature, then her career wouldn't go anywhere, and which it did not. Okay. Fast forward 2015. She started hold on. Okay. She was acting on something in 2015, and this is Cassie we're talking about. And Mia lets us know that she was on the set of this movie, and Diddy pops up. So when he pops up, he starts making everybody nervous because he starts making all these demands and saying, "Oh, I want her to do this, and I want her to do that." And they were looking like, okay, we're getting kind of nervous because this is Diddy. Like I told y'all, Diddy back in the day was a big deal, had a lot of pull and a lot of power. Okay, so pausing for a minute, right? Let's talk about racketeering, because a lot of people are up here saying he's not going to get nothing. They're probably going to let him off. These people were adults. How can they prove this, right? So racketeering, right? These line of questioning and things that they are asking these victims and witnesses on the stand is leading up to them building their case on him of racketeering. So in order for them to prove the racketeering, the things that they're trying to prove is the abuse towards women and others, staff, as well as his staff, as well as flying out SMEX workers, okay, as well as threatening people, as well as cutting off financial support, etc. Now, all of those things, Mia's testimony has given us racketeering by herself. Like they could close the case right now, and but they're going to keep the case open, of course, because they're going to put other people on the stand to testify to what Mia is saying. And some of the things that Mia is saying, we have heard on day number 5, day number 6. Like it's been an ongoing on record of people that are saying the same things. Okay, so moving right along. So Kid Cudi's name came up again, y'all. Okay, December 22nd, 2011. We all heard about it. He broke into Kid Cudi's house, blew up Kid Cudi car, right? She was at Diddy's house at this time. She said she saw him get upset. Now, she saw him get upset because at this time, Diddy had found out that Cassie was talking to Kid Cudi. And Mia said that she was bracing herself for something bad to happen. She just knew it was something was going to happen, right? So she said she reached out to D-Rock, which is another person that was on Diddy's staff. And Mia texted him and she said she's worried about Diddy, what he might do. He's very upset. Something's about to go down, okay? Hold on, y'all. Y'all know I took a lot of notes. So Mia said that she didn't want to look at in the courtroom while she was telling the story, she did not want to look at Diddy in the courtroom or the jury. She just kept her head down. Okay. And that's basically it. We stopped the testimony with Mia. We stop it with her reaching out to D-Rock, telling him, get your boy because he about to get involved and he about to do something. Okay. And so that was the end of those days of testimony with Mia. And it opened up with Deontay, the makeup stylist. What's going on, Ronald? Welcome to the lab. So if you're in the room, we're about to move on to the next update of a story, which is the Smokey Robinson case. Y'all, if y'all didn't hear about it, Smokey Robinson has his own lawsuit out. Now go ahead and smash this like button because it's some people up in here and I want to be able to give y'all the sauce on this good old great Sunday. So hit the like button. I'm gonna drink some water. I'm gonna give y'all a moment to hit the like button. I don't know why it is. I hate these water bottles that they recycle because every time you drink out of them, they crush on the sides and everything. People be trying to save this horrible planet. I'm like, look, I don't aim to be trashing the planet, but at this point, I'm just kind of like, okay. Go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to the Redefine Me channel. We have a good, great time over here. Now, normally on Sundays, I do my show review of Love After Lockup. However, Love After Lockup is done for the season. The next time it will be on, it is coming back. Life After Lockup will be back in July, I think July or maybe August, something like that. So, however, on Sundays, I'm still going to be out here in the streets with y'all, giving y'all some hot topics, giving y'all some news you can use, giving y'all something on your good old Sunday. Okay, so let's get into the next case update. Okay, so if y'all didn't know, Smokey Smokey Robinson. He sings a song, Baby, Let's Cruise Away from Here. Y'all know that song, okay? That is one of Smokey Robinson's songs, okay? A classic, a hit that people tend to like. Now, this is what happened in his particular case. Four women came forward and said that Smokey Robinson sexually assaulted them and raped them over the period of time that they were working for him. So for like 20 something years, he was committing these acts against them. Okay. And so because of that, they went ahead and they got some lawyers. The four of them got together and they filed this lawsuit and they are suing him for $50 million. Now, that is the whole thing about the case. Okay. That's what's going on. Now, Smokey Robinson is 85 years old right now, y'all. 85 years old. And these women are claiming that the sexual assaults and the rapes happened when he was 69 years old. Now, I'm not saying there ain't some young, acting, and moving 69-year-old men out there in these streets. However, I'm kind of saying I kind of don't believe them, and I don't want to victim blame nobody, right? Because your experience is your experience. I wasn't there. I don't know. However, when I gave y'all the story the first time, and if y'all have not watched my video on this story that I gave the first time, go on my channel. It is there breaking down the Smokey Robinson case, right? And so I don't want to say that I don't believe the victims, but it seems very strange that they would come out right now at this time. And this man is 85 years old, trying to sue him and his wife for sexual assault. Now, they put the wife in the lawsuit because they said the wife was there and she was making it in a hostile and aggressive work environment also. And she was also aware of the assault. What's up, Ursula? Welcome to the live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all go ahead and smash this like button. Smash the like button. It don't cost you nothing. It's free 99. Smash the like button. And subscribe to the Redefine Me channel. All right, y'all. So this is the update on the Smokey Robinson lawsuit. All right. So on May 29th, Smokey Robinson said, I see y'all $50 million that y'all trying to sue me for, and I raise y'all $500 million. Now, he is now suing these four women and their lawyers for $500 million for defamation of character. Okay, what's going on, Betty? Right, throw that out. All lies, all lies, all lies. Me and Betty agree. It seems a little sketchy. And I don't like to victim blame, you know what I'm saying? But this is a wild case. And then, a part of me is like this. I don't want to victim blame, right? Because it's wild, him being as old as he is. But the other side of me is like, well, why would these women just decide to choose Smokey Robinson out of everybody on the planet? I mean, they could choose one of these other artists that have some new money. Smokey Robinson has been out since the 70s. And at this point, he has a little bit of money left in the bank, you know what I'm saying, on his net worth. But, I don't know why I choose him. So that's what makes me feel like it could be true, because why would you then choose him out of everybody that you could choose? And maybe because they only worked for him. I don't know. So let's get into the details of this particular update on this case. So he filed a defamation lawsuit against the four women that used to work for him. They were housekeepers for him. They accused him of rape, and it prompted a police investigation because of their accusations. He filed a countersuit on Wednesday, May 28th, in the LA Superior Court against the four women and their lawyers. Okay, Smokey Robinson, like I said, is 85 years old. He filed a motion to strike the women's lawsuit. The women are seeking $50 million, alleging Smokey repeatedly raped and sexually assaulted them in his house between the years of 2007 and 2024. So that was 17 years that they're claiming that they faced sexual assault and rape against Smokey Robinson. So they're saying, and when I did the calculations, he was 69 years old when they claimed that this situation has started. Okay. So the women, which I find is wild, because if a man is sexually assaulting you, doing all these things, why would you continue to work for him for 17 plus years? Why would you continue to stay? What's going on, Mildred? Welcome to the live. Welcome, welcome. So the women, and this is just a background of some of the things that they got from Smokey Robinson while working with him. The women stayed with the Robinsons year after year. Now, if he is sexually assaulting you and doing all these things that you claim, why continue to stay year after year? Why, right? They stay with them year after year. They vacation with them. They celebrated holidays with them. They exchange gifts with them. These women ask for tickets to concerts. They sought out the Robinsons and asked for money, and they did help them with extra money for like their family members for dental surgery. They gave them financial support. What's going on? What's going on, Harris? How are you? I can't see your first name, LaFon. I think that's what it says. Hello, welcome to the live. Make sure y'all smashing that like button when y'all come in the room. So he helped them with dental surgeries. He helped them with money for their disabled family members, gave them financial support, and they even provided them with cars. And so they were very generous throughout the years to these housekeepers. Now, if you're saying someone sexually assaulted you, I won't want to take any of their gifts. I'm leaving this employment. You committed a crime against me. I'm going straight to the police. I'm getting a lawyer. I'm suing you all. Like, why didn't you all do it then? But they were getting all of these things, right? And my thought is that they were getting them earlier on, maybe when he was a little younger and he had more money and he was more generous. And then as he got older, sometimes older people, when they get older, they hold on to their coins tight. They ain't trying to give you a daggone thing, right? They give you $1. Here you go, baby. Go to the grocery store and get you some a Coke. Right. And so I'm thinking that's what ended up happening. And then, so they said, now we got to find a way to get some money, right? What's going on? What's going on? Hello. If I can't see your name, my ring light is right in my eye. So hello to everybody coming in. So the women's lawyers are Harris and Hayden, okay? And they said that that the countersuit that Smokey Robinson is doing against the victims is nothing more than just an attempt to silence them and intimidate them as survivors from the Robinsons' battery and assault. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it if you all believe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you can listen to me all the time because I go live pretty often. Make sure y'all notification button is on if you're subscribing to my channel. Also, make sure that you smash the like button and you're subscribing. Okay. What y'all think about the Smokey Robinson case at 85 years old? And it started, they claim, at 69 years old. At 69 years old, do you think that he was able to sexually assault 4 women? Do y'all think it's true? I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let's move on to the last story that's going to have an update with it. Now, this update is for Carmelo Anthony. Now, if you all don't know who Carmelo Anthony is, not the basketball player, not to be confused with him. We are talking about Carmelo Anthony with a K. He is the 17-year-old that stabbed another 17-year-old that was named Arthur Metcalf. Okay. Now, Carmelo Anthony was at a track meet with Arthur Metcalf, and Arthur Metcalf, told him to move. He wouldn't move. Anthony says, if you touch me again, see what's going to happen. Metcalf touched him. Anthony stabbed him. Okay, so now fast forward. We got the background in case you all have missed out on this case. Okay, what's up, Antonio? I think these ladies are lying. So Antonio said they're lying. Thank you so much for the compliment. Somebody else said yes. Is your name Casnell? I don't want to say nobody's name wrong, but yes. So y'all don't believe them. I don't. I don't believe them either. Like, if you think about some older men, okay, Castile, if you think about some older men at their older age, some of them moving slow, some of them got the shakes, some of them can't even, get erected. Okay, look, we all grown here, so I hope. And so for the fact that you would say that this man at his older age tackled 4 of y'all and committed some type of essay against y'all and some grape, like, it's a wild accusation to me. And it seems like a money grab. Okay. And so, but anyway, let's get to the Carmelo Anthony case. All right. All right. So this is the update. Cat's still laughing. They can't. Some of them can't. So this is the update on Carmelo Anthony. All right. So Metcalf's dad. Antonio said, I'm with you. Okay. Metcalf's dad is mad. So Metcalf is the young man that lost his life, okay, due to this senseless altercation. His dad is upset because he's trying to figure out how in the world did the Texas school system allow for Carmelo Anthony to graduate. Okay, so Carmelo Anthony was in the 12th grade, he just graduated, so he's in the 12th grade. So he had a 3.7, I think it's 3.76 GPA or something like that. He had completed all of his credits. And so because of that, he received his diploma, and they reached an agreement. His legal team reached an agreement with Frisco Independent School District, and they said that they will allow him to get a diploma and graduate, but he cannot attend any senior activities. Now, y'all already know Carmelo is out right now on bond. He has an ankle monitor. He's on house arrest. He's turned over to his parents. Now, this story has been a wild story because a lot of people are upset. You have people that is like defending Carmelo. You got people that's on the side of the Metcalfs. You got a whole race war that people have started because of this, which in my opinion, it has nothing to do with race. Just look at the facts, right? Take race out of it. Unfortunately, Carmelo happens to be black and Metcalf happens to be white, right? And so people are going to run with the race card. However, I am a realist, right? I don't care if he was purple. I don't care if he was green. The facts are the facts. This young man, Carmelo, ended up stabbing another young man that led to his death. So because of that, what's up, Kimmy? So because of that, he committed murder. Now, no matter how you paint it, who started it, who shoved who told who to go where, the bottom line is that the facts are the facts. He stabbed somebody, he committed a crime. So that for that, he has to pay for said crime. The unfortunate thing is that he's 17 years old, and it was probably a lot of adrenaline running, there was probably a lot of things going, and he made a life-altering mistake. So because of that, he has to now pay for the mistake that he has made. Okay. So let's move on with the updates of this case, right? So the NGAN, which stands for the Next Generation Action Network, said that Carmelo graduating. Now, this statement was wild to me, and y'all let me know what y'all think, because I almost wanted to reach through the daggone screen that I was reading from, find this lady and slap her in the forehead for this comment that she just made. I don't like when a lot of people, and I'm not going to just say African American people, but a lot of people sit up here and they want to make it seem like this is a Black Lives Matter situation. It is not that, okay? But because of this statement this lady made, she gives me the type of person that would be down with the Black Lives Matter marches no matter what a person has done because they're African American. As soon as you insert a Caucasian person or another race against an African American person, all of a sudden Black Lives Matter come out, Al Sharpton come out with his perm and everything, and everybody getting this uproar, even though the person was wrong. And this is another situation where this is happening, right? So she goes and says in this little stupid statement, right? Okay, her name is Dominique Alexander. Okay, she seems to be some type of pastor or something. I don't know who she is. However, she's the president of the NGAN, which is Next Generation Action Network. She goes and says Carmelo graduating is a moment of dignity and a reminder of the power of advocacy done right. She's an idiot. Why would you make that statement? He graduated because he met the criteria, which I understand that, but don't make it seem like him graduating beat all the odds and he was under distress and everything like that, and is dignified and all this other stuff. What about the other young man's family? What about the Metcalf family that cannot even have their child around to celebrate a graduation for? What about that, lady? And you sitting up here coming out here talking about this dignity and all this other stuff of him graduating. She should have kept that statement to herself, because to me it is insensitive to the situation, especially when this other family has lost their child. Like, how could you? That's so inconsiderate. But anyway, let's move on from that. So the update again, the family has relocated for safety reasons. Now they're no longer living in the same place. They relocated for safety reasons. The NGAN has been providing the family with support and security. So this organization, the Next Generation Action Network, has been providing Carmelo's family with support and security. What about the Metcalf family? Have y'all even reached out to them people to offer them support? They lost a child. Now, I know some people might watch this back. Shout out to the replay gang, and they might be on the side of Carmelo, and they might say, well, Arthur Metcalf pushed him and was maybe bullying him and all of that stuff, and so he stabbed him in self-defense. Since when did a punch or a shove or a push allude to a knife in the chest? I don't understand that. What happened to the good old days when you push me, now we about to fight? Like it's going to lead to some fisticuffs. Now, some people, you may lose the fight, right? Maybe the person is bigger than you or whatever. But so what? You live to fight another day. Now, because you chose a weapon to go into this young man, we'll never know if y'all would have had a fight. Now, they both were star athletes. Don't forget that. So they are used to being pummeled. They were on the football team. They're used to being hit, tackled, pummeled, all types of stuff. So why at this point couldn't you fight this young man instead of stabbing him? Now, because you decided to stab him, you're going to jail. You're going to miss all of your senior activities with your friends. Now you're going to forever be looked at as a murderer. Okay. Your life is basically over because you're in Texas and you're a black boy. So you're going to go to jail no matter what nobody says. And if they are pushing him as an adult, to try him as an adult, so you could have chosen an alternative way. Now the Caucasian guy, Metcalf, is gone off this planet. He leaves behind his grieving parents, his brother that doesn't have him. He'll never graduate and participate. The whole thing is a mess, all because you didn't know how to put your fist up and fight if that's what you wanted to do. I would have respected the situation more if he fought the dude instead of stabbing him. Castnell says it is sad someone died. I'm glad he got the diploma, but someone has to pay for his death. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if he met the criteria and he had the GPA, I mean, he graduates, right? We can't stop that. But I can understand how the Metcalf family may feel. They're thinking to themselves, this guy killed our son, and the school system is allowing him to graduate. Now, killing your son aside, if he met the requirements, what are they supposed to do? Not give him the diploma? I mean, if it had to be a good thing out of this, at least he finished high school, I guess. I don't know. So let's move on to some more updates on this. Okay, so he is being charged as an adult. As an adult. And in Texas, if you are being charged as an adult, and he is facing first degree murder charges. Now, because he's being charged as an adult, they are going to throw the book at him and go hard at him in this case. If they were trying him as a minor, his charges would have got lessened and he would not have had to go to strenuous charges, right? But because they're charging him as an adult, he's going to be tried to the fullest extent of the law. Okay. And Arthur Metcalf's dad is like, he wants answers. Why is he allowed to graduate? Okay. So an online petition. Now, y'all let me know what y'all think about what I'm about to say with this one. An online petition has been collected with more than 15,000 signatures calling for Austin Metcalf to be awarded an honorary diploma. Now, he was not expected to graduate until 2026. I'm about to say something. Some people might not like it. I'm sorry, but these are my thoughts. And just like my opinion and my thoughts, it's like a booty hole. Everybody has one, right? Why are they doing this? Why are they trying to sign a petition for this young man to get an honorary diploma? First of all, he doesn't even graduate this year. If he was still alive, he would have another year to go before he graduated, right? Not only that, you're opening up another wound from his parents and his brother. They're trying to heal, you know. Yeah, jealousy. Okay, thank you. Casnell, you feel the same way I do. It's almost like, well, I see you graduating, murderer, so I'm going to one up you and try to get a petition going so that my son can have some type of recognition. Now, next year when they graduate, if they wanted to take a moment of silence and give him an honorary degree and do all of those things next year because he's actually graduating that year, then fine. You know, that's fine. But why are we doing that right now? Like, why are y'all trying to, like, I feel like the public is making this bigger than what it already is. It's already a big thing. But when you have the court of public opinion, you got people doing TikToks, you got people doing their points of view on being a lawyer online, saying what's going to happen and why this is happening. When you have people that's like that, they're turning this into a race war. They're turning this into something that's really huge and out of control, and they're causing healing not to happen on both sides of the family, right? And so I believe that Arthur Metcalf's dad tried to kind of reach out to Carmelo Anthony's family and try to kind of mend the fences a little bit, because if the parents would have come together and would have sat down with each other, hugged each other, and said, "This is a tragedy. Both of our children lives are over. Basically, let's try to work together to get some type of justice for one another," then I believe everyone else on the outside, the public opinion people, their voices would have silenced a little bit. They would have talked about it and gave their opinion, but it would have been as aggressive. What's up, Sandra or Sandra? They're afraid that people will forget him. Yeah, I understand that. They are afraid that people will forget him, but no one can forget a person. It's up to you as the parent to keep their memory alive. And as a parent, if it happened to me, I would make sure that I keep my child's memory alive for next year when he graduates, things like that. Like, I would make sure that his name is remembered in our area where we live at, right? So I understand it, and it's a tragedy. This whole thing is a tragedy. These are young boys. These are young boys. One of them made a horrible mistake, ended someone's life, and the other one, he's not even on the planet anymore. So it's a horrible story, right? Very tragic. Um, and so more updates. Texas. Now, I don't know if y'all knew this. I don't know where you all are from, but Texas is ranked amongst one of the states with the highest number of life sentences for individuals under the age of 25 years old. They have 18,358 people currently serving life sentences. I was like, wow. When I looked up that fact, I said, oh my God. So, in my opinion, knowing those facts, oh, you live in Texas, Castile? What part of Texas do you live in? So, knowing that fact, why isn't Texas judicial system trying to get their name off of that list? Like, that's not something that you should be proud of. Why are you not trying to get your name off the list? San Antonio. Okay, okay. Why not get your name off that list for being one of them states that has a high life sentence? I wouldn't want to be on that list if I was a state, right? I would figure out how we could combat this and keep it from happening. But because we live in a very evil world, people have free will. They're going to do what they want. Some of the things you do turns into a life sentence situation. Okay. And so that to me was very troubling. More updates. Anthony, if Carmelo Anthony is convicted, y'all, he could face a mandatory life sentence. Okay. He would not be eligible for parole until after 40 years. So basically, his life is over. He would not be eligible until after 40 years. He's 17 years old right now. Could you imagine? 17 years old. And you're going into a system as an adult. And so that means you're going to be put in the jail with grown men who are rapists, who have committed sexual assault, who have killed people, who have did all types of stuff. What's up, Sheila? Welcome to the live. So now you're going to end up going into a system with those type of men, all because you did not choose a better way to handle this situation. Yes, it would break my heart too if I was his mother. And then imagine your mother. See, the dad, men, y'all have y'all relationship with y'all sons, right? But if you are a mom and you have carried a baby inside of you and you have a bond with that child, see, a relationship between a mother and a child is something that men will never understand, of course, because they can't deliver babies. And so when you have that relationship with your son and you know that he has killed someone and he is possibly going away for life, it would, yes, it would kill me, Sandra. Yes, you said it. It would drive me up a wall. So I can't even imagine what his mom is dealing with. But on the flip side of that, Metcalf's mom, the Caucasian young man that lost his life, could you imagine what she's going through? Her child is actually gone. At least Carmelo's mom could visit him in jail, could write him, could call him. The other mom can't do that at all. So this is why it really troubles me how people in the public opinion have handled this situation. Why haven't anyone reached out to this other family? Why is no one more concerned about them? Their child is not here anymore. That is heartbreaking. At least the other mom can see her child at some point. Sheila says being punished forever for a stupid kid action. Yeah, and it's just and it's unfortunate that stupid kid action has caused him his life. Because they are trying him as an adult, not a minor, even though he's 17 years old. Now, if I was his lawyers, I would argue that because you're not deemed an adult until you're 18. So, how is it that they're trying him as an adult at 17 years old? I would try to argue that point until I couldn't argue it no more. What's going on? Buttery popcorn is good, and it is good. How you doing? Welcome to the live. So I will argue that point because he's not 18 yet. So how are they trying him as an adult? And I believe because of the crime, this is why they're trying him because he's being charged with first degree murder. So they're going to try him. They're probably like, he's close enough to an adult, but I wonder if he was 13 or if he was 12, would they still try him as an adult? I believe if he was younger, he would go into juvenile court system and then they would transition him over to the adult correctional facility. What's up, Robert? It don't matter. Kids been getting tried as adult even younger. Yeah, yeah. Sandra said 17-year olds act like 13-year olds. Yeah. And it's like I'm not saying that kids don't know what they doing because there are some 12-year-old kids that are very grown that know what they doing and everything like that. And they have these phones and they have these little boyfriend girlfriend situations and all types of stuff, right? So how young is too young, right? Because kids do know what they doing. I know when I was when I was 17, boy, I was outside. I was out here acting up. Okay, knowing what I was doing, knowing I shouldn't have been letting nobody rub up on my booty and all that other stuff, and I was doing it, okay, because I thought I was grown enough to do some grown enough things, right? Thank God I didn't suffer a teenage pregnancy behind some of the mistakes that I made. But yeah, 17, you be out there sometimes. Castell says they need to move the trial from that hometown. That area is very racist. Oh, really? That is the reason they can't come together for healing. Wow. But see, you know what? I don't know that area or research information for that city and you will find out. Yeah, I've heard that that city was a very affluent area, like people with money kind of live over there. And I racism is never going to leave the United States, right? It's always going to be a thing, right? Until the end of time. It's never going to leave that. However, it's up to the individual how you conduct yourselves. I believe if the parents would have sat down and come together, I know not right away they wouldn't have done it. But like, okay, so scenario. So they were having a press conference, the Carmelo Anthony's family. They were having a press conference. And so the Metcalf dad showed up at the press conference. Do you know they put this man out of the press conference and told him he couldn't be here? That could have been a time when cameras were there for them to show and stand in solidarity and for them to see each other, embrace each other, for them to kind of talk with each other and things of that nature to break down the court of public opinion. But because the families didn't come together, now people are going to play this black white card. Now people are going to I'm on this side, I'm on that side, I'm raising money for that one, I'm raising money for this one, like a whole big old mess. And so they can't even grieve properly because you got everybody that's talking about it, giving their opinion on it. And now they have to constantly scroll up YouTube, scroll on all types of social media and see people calling their son a murderer, see people saying, oh, this one is dead and he was probably a bully to him. And they have to see all of these things about their children that people don't understand because they did not raise these children. What's up, Dominora? I'm probably saying your name wrong. I'm so sorry. Rochelle, how are you? Castell says absolutely not. Yes, keep taking talking to your children. Yes, we have to break down racism in the United States. And it starts with the home training. You can't say because slavery existed right so long ago and it was a horrible, horrific thing. But we have moved past that time. We've moved past segregation. So now what are we going to do today? We have to start doing things today to stop the racism and stop the things that's going on in the US that's not okay. Right. And so the last update, if the grand jury decides to indict him, then a court date will be set. So at this time, I don't think they have indicted him yet, but I know it's coming soon. So they're going to set a court date in place when they indict him. And so that's all the update that I have on the Carmelo Anthony case. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Is like I said, it's a horrible case. It's a horrible situation. Demonrie. Okay, Demonrie. Stop the violence, period. Yes, stop the violence, period, and pray. You know what I'm saying? Just look, we gotta stop all that. I just don't understand. I don't understand how you don't like a person because of their skin color. I just don't get it. Like, I just do not understand it. And I have come to the point in my life that I have realized that it has nothing to do with the skin color. One person is jealous of another person. One culture is jealous of another culture. Black people jealous of white people, and y'all probably gonna throw stones because they have white privilege, right? They end up getting things quicker then black people can get them and everything, and so they feel a way about that, which rightfully so, I understand it, right? And then white people is jealous of black people because we are just this savvy people that's very what is it? We have a certain je ne sais quoi with us, like the fashion, the dancing, the way our fullness of lips is, the color of our skin, how it's just why do you think they tan, right? They love this melanin that we have, right? Even our hair, like they probably is like, I wish my hair could hold a braid. You know what I'm saying? So on both sides of it, you have issues with both sides. Everybody has issues with each other. Instead of us coming together and saying, listen, this is the way God made me. That's the way God made you. Let's just love one another. We got to live in this world together, right? Sheila says, young kids death just isn't a reality. My daughter worked at ER in the hood. The families will bring their young kids in, dead cousins, etc. Wow. I think more interracial marriages need to be happening. Absolutely. And you know what's crazy? I was talking to my girlfriends last night about this, and I said, I really wish that I grew up in a more diverse neighborhood. Like, I'm from Washington, D.C., right? And so I grew up in a all black neighborhood. I grew up junior high, elementary school, junior high, high school, all black. Okay. I did not begin to mingle with other cultures until I got to college. Then I began to see white and Asian and Indian and other races, right? And I began to accumulate a good amount of friends that were other races. However, at that point, it was seared into my mind to only, date black. Like, I like dating black men. I didn't want to date another race. But now at my age, I wish that I would have had more experiences dating other races. And so now with my daughter, I'm so glad that she is one of those women at this point. My daughter is that says that she doesn't care about dating just black. She'll date, anyone that she has a connection with. And so I'm glad that she feels that way. Okay. My husband is white. Wow. Just married this past Sunday. Oh my gosh. We learn from each other. Wow. Congratulations. Oh my gosh. Congratulations to you and your husband. Newlyweds in the building. Congratulations. Oh my God. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. And, and I wish that we would, think outside the box. Date somebody else. You might find out you like the person. Like, you might find out that you vibe with the person, and so I love the fact that my daughter is going to think differently and have different experiences than I had. Okay. My daughter is 21. And so when she starts to date, and she starts to really seek that type of relationship, I'm glad that we had a conversation, and she said, I don't care if they black, white, Asian, whatever. If I like the person, I like the person, right? Different people have different cultures. Absolutely. It's all a beautiful thing because the world is full of differences. Like if we all were the same, it would be boring. It would be a boring world if we all were the same, right? And so I'm so glad that God created all of us differently to have different points of view, to have different, mindsets, different skin colors, different hair textures. Everything is different because it's beauty in being different. There's nothing wrong. Everybody don't need to be the same. So when you have these extreme races, this like white power or black power or whatever, I don't understand why. I understand you have pride for your race, but don't try to eliminate one particular culture because we're all beautiful in our own right, right? And we have to all live on this earth together. So it's like it's not going anywhere. So you just have to deal with it. But anyway, y'all, that is my update. I did the Diddy updates. I also did, yes, congratulations, I'm gonna say your name right. Dominitra. I think I said it right. I'm not sure, but yes, congratulations again. I did my update on the Diddy trial. If you all have missed any of the updates on the trial, you can go onto my page, and I did post videos of the Diddy trial. I have been there reviewing this Diddy trial from day A. Okay, so if y'all want to hear that, it's on my page. We also went over the Smokey Robinson trial. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Of course, they're trying to railroad this 85-year-old man saying that he sexually assaulted some women and all of this. I don't particularly believe it. However, that does not mean that it could not have happened. Okay, because we wasn't there, we don't know. And then I also did my update on the Carmelo Anthony case. Now I would and I am interested in finding out what happened in the case of Caleb Wilson. Do you all remember the young man that got hazed by the Alpha, what is it, the Omega Psi Phi fraternity? He got hazed and they ended up killing him. Now, I know some arrest was made, but we haven't heard any updates on that case. And so next week, I am going to come out at 6 p.m. I'm going to come out and bring you all some more updates on some pressing cases that has been in the media that we have had no updates on. Demornier. Okay, Demornier. Okay. A good try. My husband said, thank you all. Oh my God. So your husband, congratulations. Yes. Demorie. Okay, Demorie. Okay. So yeah, yeah. And also what happened to the two teenage boys? I currently live here in Atlanta, Georgia, and there was two teenage boys, twins, that went missing. Okay. When they finally found them, they found out that they were dead. Okay, they had just graduated. Okay, correct. Okay. They had just graduated and they got killed on this mountain here in Georgia. Now the family says they wasn't even supposed to be on that mountain, that they had tickets to go out of town. They were supposed to be on a flight somewhere else, right? And they ended up getting unalived on this mountain here in Georgia, and we have not heard anything else about that case. So I am very much into crime law and things like that. I have my bachelor's in criminal justice, so I'm very much into a lot of cases like this because I really do want to know what happened in some of these cases. Sometimes we get these cases and they end up just going away like the wind. And then we're like, well, whatever happened to that? Was an arrest made? Was this happen? And imagine how the families feel. Like you don't want to end up being in a situation where you get a cold case and you just don't know what happened. Like that's the worst feeling in the world, right? And so I'm a dig deep because normally on Sundays I do my Love After Lockup review. So that is a reality show that I do watch, that I do love. If you all have not watched any of my Love After Lockup reviews, I have a lot of them on my channel. Go check those out. Until it comes back on, I'm going to come out still at 6 p.m. on Sundays and give you all something. We're going to talk about something. Oh, yeah. Also, the last thing. What do y'all think about Little Miss Shirley? Have y'all seen Miss Shirley, the little girl that does the boots on the ground dance when she be all doing her little thing, right? What do y'all think about Little Miss Shirley? Now, in my opinion, when I first saw the first video of her, I said, listen, the little girl is cute, don't get me wrong, but the dance is too grown for her. My 4-year-old would not be on the dance floor with grown people popping her booty in the air and up here flicking a fan and stuff. Some stuff ain't cute. Some stuff ain't for kids. And now another video has come out, y'all, with her imitating Johnny Gill's red dress. dress. Y'all know that song, Slip on Your Red Dress. That song, she has on a red dress. She putting on these little shoes. She put on this lip gloss, and she getting all sensual in the face and everything. This child is 4 years old. And I'm just like, what is going on? So now, fast forward, y'all. Here's more of the tea on that story. Now, the court of public opinion was not having it. So somebody called CPS on her mom. Her mom came out after they called CPS on her and gave a tongue lashing for all the people that's in her business. Now, when you're on social media and you post something, it becomes everybody business. I don't know why people get mad and be like, oh, why y'all in my business? You posted it. You're on here. So everybody's going to see it and have an opinion on it. So the mom came out and was cursing everybody out, calling everybody MFers and Bs and all this other stuff. So come to find out, in that video that she released, Miss Shirley, little Miss Shirley, was sitting right there while her mom was talking so reckless at the mouth. And I'm just like, that's the problem with our children. It's the parents. Be a parent. Like, why are you sitting up here parading your child around doing all of these things at 4 years old and she's still wearing a pull-up? Now, if you can get the steps to boots on the ground dance, then you need to be able to get your butt on the daggone pot so I can stop buying these daggone pull-ups and buy you some big girl panties. So I'm just like, why you mad at us? Because you up here parading your child around. Now she booking this little girl for club appearances, clubs, lounges with old grown people in it. Booking a 4-year-old. She got these people taking pictures with her. If you want a picture with Miss Shirley, you can come take a picture. People passing your daughter around, taking pictures with them. Listen, we live in an evil world, y'all. Y'all don't know what people be thinking, men or women alike. They could be passing this little girl around and touch her inappropriately while your back turned, and now you up here crying to us, want to go fund me, want to prosecute the person and everything like that. No, ma'am. Stop doing reckless stuff with your child. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable on every day of the week. Now, the last thing about this particular case, she has an OnlyFans. Yes, y'all heard it right. I said it. The little girl, the 4-year-old, has an OnlyFans. Now, her mom came out and said, she don't have no OnlyFans. It's a fan page. Ma'am, it's associated with OnlyFans. Now, everybody knows what OnlyFans is about, right? We don't need to go into detail. So even if you're not on OnlyFans doing nothing nasty, as soon as you say you got an OnlyFans account, people are going to assume that you're doing something nasty. So why would you want to associate your 4-year-old with OnlyFans? Is it me? Am I the one that's tripping out? Like, I just don't understand how this lady is so deranged and delusional. Everything ain't cute. So that's the little Miss Shirley case, y'all. If y'all don't know about it, go on TikTok, y'all. I'm telling y'all, and y'all pull up Miss Shirley, and y'all gonna see all these people dragging this mom, saying that she wrong for this, that she need to stop treating her daughter like this, that she needs to be ashamed of herself, all types of stuff. Because at first people thought it was cute. Oh, look, the little girl with her boots on and she dancing and all this stuff like that, right? But very quickly it got real weird real quick. And so now her mom is being dragged through the mud, so much so that somebody called CPS. So it's just a whole mess, y'all. I pray for little Miss Shirley, like her safety, because the mom appears that she is trying to get a bag off of her. She appears that she's trying to make this money because now this little girl has become some type of viral sensation. But mom, if you wanted to properly do it, why are you not booking Miss Shirley for like birthday parties, kiddie events, things like that? Like, keep her in her age bracket. You know what I'm saying? She one of them moms that end up turning her back, like the parents that basically sold their child to R. Kelly and now they want to cry wolf. And I don't care what nobody say. Them parents freaking got the money from R. Kelly. They knew who he was. They knew who he was about. They knew the things he went through with Aaliyah. And you still signed your child up to go shoot music with this man in the studio. And now all of a sudden, when he turns out to be some type of nasty pedophile, now you want to sit up and say, oh my God, cry wolf about your daughter. You have to be a parent. We have to protect our children. Everybody does not mean your children well. Even if you were saying this is innocent, my daughter's just dancing, there are sick, twisted people in this world that think evil all the time. So I don't understand why she act like people that has something to say about it is so out of whack, right? So parents just gotta be parents, man. Stop letting them dollars control your parenting. Stop seeing dollar signs and then act like that you ain't gonna parent your child. Because the way Miss Shirley is going right now, by the time she gets 10 years old, you're not gonna be able to tell her anything. She gonna be telling you stuff. She gonna be like, "Mommy, get out my face." I'm Miss Shirley. Okay, I got booked over here, booked over there. She not gonna listen to nothing that mom say. By the time she gets 10, I promise you. Watch what I say. Watch what I say. But I'm gonna keep my ears to the streets and bring y'all hot topics and different things like that. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit the like button. I want to get about 10 likes before I log off. I'm about to log off now. Can y'all just give me 10 likes? Can I get 10 likes from the people in the room? I appreciate y'all so much. I'm gonna stay on here till I get 10 likes. We had 7 likes. If I can get 10 likes from the people in the room, just click the like button. It don't cost you nothing. Just click the like button. Thank you. Go ahead, click the like button. It don't cost you a daggone thing. And not only that, subscribe to the channel. Like, I love doing YouTube. I have a good, great time over here. My YouTube channel, y'all need to go get into it because y'all gonna have a good time too. Y'all gonna laugh some. Y'all gonna cry a little bit. I get personal on my channel. I do a lot of show reviews. I do a lot of current events. I do a lot of stuff. Sometimes you might get mad at me on my channel because I have opinions about controversial issues. However, it is a lifestyle channel that is full of love, peace, and laughter and joy and all of those great things. Like, that's what I aim to do on my channel. So if y'all like it and y'all love it, go ahead and subscribe. We need 2 more subscribe. I mean, 2 more likes, 2 more likes, 2 more likes. And then I'm going to get off of here. Really, we should have more than 2 more likes. But 2 more likes. I'm trying to get to 10. We got 32 people that's watching. So that probably mean like, I don't know, maybe 20 something in the room, I guess. I don't know. But go ahead and hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing. Your card would not be compromised. I promise you. No credit card is going to be taken when you hit the like button. You ain't going to have to pay no subscription fee. And make sure y'all follow me. If y'all want to follow me on my other social media platforms, I am on TikTok. My name on TikTok is the THE. I don't know how to link it on here. I think there has to be a way that you can link it. Oh, nah, I don't know. That wasn't it. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Eh, no, that ain't it. That ain't it. All right, I don't know. But anyway, follow me on TikTok. My handle on TikTok is the THE Diamond, DIAMOND Donna. So it's not another D. THEDIAMONDONNA. The Diamond Donna Shop. SHOP. Okay. And that's one word. Follow me on the good old TikTok. Also, follow me on Instagram. That same name. What else am I on? YouTube. Of course, you all are here. Um, I'm on Threads as well. The Diamond Donna Shop. Same thing on Threads. And what else? What else? What else? That's it. That is all my social media platforms. I was going to do Snapchat, but I'm just like, I don't even want to get into. But see, my goal is to get monetized on one of these platforms by the end of 2025. So I'm working hard, hard, hard to do that. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. I might get on Snapchat. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I need 2 more likes before I get off of here. 2 more likes. Go ahead. 2 more likes. That's all I need. 2 more likes. That's all I'm asking. If y'all ain't sure if y'all want to like me or not, I understand. But I promise you, you're gonna have a good time on the Redefine Me channel. Thank you so much, Castile, for the hearts, the praying hands, the claps, all of that. I had a really good weekend, y'all. So I mean, I could tell y'all who I am. Maybe that'll help you want to hit the like button. So my name is Natasha. I am from Washington, D.C. I currently live here in Atlanta, Georgia. I have been in Georgia now for 8 years. I moved here because I thought it was opportunity here, and it very well was. It was like Black Hollywood here, and so I decided to move here to Atlanta, me and my daughter. At the time, my daughter was 13 when we moved here, and I think I was 30. I think I was 35. Yes. So we moved here, just me and her. I don't have no family here or anything, right? And so, once I got here, God had some very low points for me to go through to teach me some things. And then he turned that thing around and high points came up. Okay. And so my daughter ended up getting accepted into a performing arts high school. She went to junior high school here, and then 1 year junior high school here. Then she went over into high school. She got accepted into a performing arts high school. She did very well there. And now she transitioned and went to college. She's back in Maryland. She goes to Prince George's Community College. She actually just graduated from there, woo woo, with her associate's degree. We went up to DC 2 weekends ago to celebrate her, and now she's moving on to Bowie State University, which is also in Maryland, where she's going to finish out and get her bachelor's degree. Her major is theater arts. She wants to be an actress. She wants to be on Broadway, and she wants to do all of those things, right? So before she graduated, a week before, she ended up winning Best Supporting Actress in a play that she was in with her school, and she didn't know she was going to win. I was very emotional, but she very much did a very great job. Okay, what's up, Rick? Oh my gosh, the husband is here. I have your 10th like. Thank you, husband. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Demorier husband is here. I love it. I absolutely love it. So after I got here, the first year I was here in Atlanta, it was tragic. I hated it. I was like, the South is not for me. I'm going back home. I'm going back home, right? And so God had other plans because a year after I moved here, right? I was dating a guy that was long distance. Okay, no problem. You're welcome. Thank you so much, Rick. I was dating a guy long distance. He was in Alabama. And so I decided to move here because there was opportunity here. It was, my job transferred here, things of that nature. And then the guy I was dating lived in Alabama. So I thought it would be a good look, right, to move here. I thought everything would come together here once I got here. Long story to the short, thank you. I got the 10 likes. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. So long story to the short, the guy ended up playing games with me. We was in a relationship for 2 years. He ended up telling me that he did not want to get married. And when I met him, I told him that, I wanted to be married at some point. I never rushed him, but he wasn't willing to commit because he was already married. So he broke my heart. I really felt bad about it. Okay. So fast forward, we had broke up, and I was here in this new city. I didn't have anyone. I was just me and my daughter. And so I would do Postmates. I would do Postmates, picking up food, dropping it off, Uber Eats and stuff. I would do, what I had to do on top of my job to ensure that me and my daughter was good. And so one day I went into this restaurant. The name of this restaurant was called Southern Style Bistro, and it was in Learburn, Georgia. And so I went into this restaurant, and when I went in there and picked up this food, it was people that was telling me, your food's coming, it'll be out in a minute, it'll be out in a minute. And I said, oh, okay, cool. So finally, this really tall, chocolate, chunky, cute guy came and brought me my food, right? And so I was like, okay, it's about time. How many people gonna bring me my food? And so he says, I'm the only one that brought you your food. Is that some type of fat joke or something? And I looked at him, I said, excuse me. So I asked him his name. He told me his name was Johnny. I told him my name. We talked for a little bit, right? And then, what's up, Martha? Welcome to the live. So then, after I told him my name, okay, I ended up saying, he said, don't you got to drop that food off? I said, yeah. So he said, when you drop the food off, will you come back? Right. And so I went and I dropped the food off. And so when I came back to the restaurant, me and him ended up sitting at the bar talking. And so I was like, don't you got to get back to work? Like, you can't sit here the whole night. And he says, no, I'm one of the owners of the restaurant. And I said, oh, wow. Oh, okay. That's great. So fast forward, me and him began to date, right? We were both dating other people at the time. And so fast forward, the third year into our dating, he asked me to marry him. And so I am now married to that man that I went into his restaurant to pick up an order, was not expecting it. I was looking a mess. I had just got over a breakup. And a week later, God answered my prayer that I had been praying for years to get married, right? And so me and him both got married. We were 40 years old when we got married. And this September, we will be celebrating our 3 years of being a married couple. And so that's just a skinny of of who I am and how God can take your situation, right? Even when it seems really messed up or somebody plays with you or you're praying for something, trust God. He is a perfect timer. He is going to give you what you need when you need it at the exact perfect timing. And I had prayed for a husband. I had watched my sister get married, and she got married in her 20s. And I'm standing up there as her maid of honor looking like, ain't this some crap? My little sister that got married. But at the time, I wasn't ready. And sometimes God holds up your blessings because you're not ready. And so I wasn't ready until I was 40 years old to be a wife. And that's what happened. And we ended up getting married. And a lot of great things has happened for me since I moved to Georgia. I've started businesses. My husband has his business. I got a job that I had been waiting for. Like I had been waiting to get a job with the post office, and I got that job. And so I work for the post office right now. But baby, I'm not a 9 to 5er. I will be leaving there soon. But I met my husband here. My daughter got friends here. She got a great education. She was, just a lot of great things happened for us in Georgia. And so I'm so thankful that God allowed us to move this way. Even though DC will forever and always be home, I'm just grateful and glad that I was able to move this way and have great things happen for me. So that is the skinny of who I am. If you loved it, if you like it, go ahead and subscribe. So go ahead and click the like button, y'all. If y'all in the room, click the like button. I'm about to get up off of here. I'm about to go relax because I got to go back to work on tomorrow night. Yes, I'm a night worker. I work at night, and I have to go back to work tomorrow. So I'm going to enjoy my last little day off. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and watch some of the other things on my channel. Get into the vibe of everything that is me. And I love y'all. I really do. I love y'all so, so much. Thank you all for being here with me. Thank you all for responding, for liking, for all of the things, all of the things. I love doing YouTube. I love you all. When I say I love you all, I love you all. You all be on my prayer list and everything. I'd be like, bless my YouTube channel, whoever comes on and watch, Lord, whatever they going through, that they may have prosperity and good health and joy and happiness. I always, always am thankful for my YouTube channel. I love doing this, right? And so if y'all love it too, go ahead and subscribe. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get off of here. Tomorrow I do motivational Mondays. Keep your notification bells on. I will do a motivational short for you all on Monday. I put that out every Monday, and I also will do a plethora of other things throughout the week. So when I come live, you all will know if you have your notification button on. Okay. I love y'all. Have a happy Sunday. Bye.